Happy Melly Monday! Last week I sewed this medieval inspired handbag, and this week I'm going to add loads of embroidery to make it look fancy. By the way, I'm still figuring out my audio settings, so please let me know how I can improve it. First things first, the inside of the side seams is still unfinished, so I'm going to fold under the raw edges and secure them with a decorative whipped stitch, making sure to catch the shoulder strap underneath. This also gives the bag a bit more shape and stability. Now I can shift my attention to the shoulder strap. Since this bag will be used for my hair braiding supplies, I want to embroider a braid onto the shoulder strap. First I am marking the width onto some graph paper. To draw the braid, I'm starting out by making a zigzag line down the middle, extending the lines, and connecting the ends with some nice curves. To copy the design onto the shoulder strap, I am following the same steps. First the zigzag, then extending the lines and connecting them up with curves. It's a bit difficult to see the pencil, but it is there. I will be using a simple backstitch to follow the lines, trying not to poke more holes into my finger or hold my hand in front of the camera. When I reach the end of the section, I am traveling underneath the fabric and coming out in the next section of this line. After continuing this line all the way to the end, I am coming back for the second line, as well as the other three. And with that, the shoulder strap is finished. It is simplistic, but it still is pretty. To border the flap, I also want to make a braid, but to make it as even as possible, I am turning the sketch into a pattern that I can trace onto the fabric, going neatly around the corners with this sort of woven knot. Unlike before, I am not stitching on the lines, but just inside of them using this loop stitch. I am going in right where I came out, traveling a bit forwards and catching the loop on my way. Once again, going in where I just came out, traveling a bit and catch my loop on the way. After continuing the stitch to the end of the section, I am going in just outside of the loop and traveling in between the layers to the next section of this line. Like before, I am finishing this line to the end, then coming back for the second and third lines. Then I am doing the other side with a lighter shade of brown to give it a bit of a three-dimensional look. I want to add one final piece of embroidery right here. First, I'm sketching a simple knotwork onto a piece of graph paper, And after copying it onto the fabric, I will use the exact same loop stitch as before, just in this nice green color. You've just seen me do the stitch, so here is a montage. With the outlines complete, I'm coming back with the lighter green to fill the insides. Lastly, I just need to remove the embroidery hoop and give everything a good ironing. And with that, the bag is complete. And that is it for this week's episode. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more handmade content every Melly Monday, and leave a comment down below with any feedback or suggestions you might have. I'll see you next Melly Monday.